Hey everybody, welcome to Pedal Pushers. I'm your host, Zach.
And I'm Matthew.
Hello, Matthew. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm a little wired right now.
Yeah?
I had a lot of Starburst today.
Oh my
I had a
gosh.
Dr. Pepper Zero with my lunch. And I'm on my new schedule. 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. is when I sleep.
Right.
So then I'm up at 4 a.m. and I got baby until 6:15 and then I get in the shower.
That's great.
So that's 6 hours of sleep. That's about as much
plenty.
as I normally get, but it's like a little weird being up since 4.
Yeah. Getting up before the sun
Yes.
it messes up your circadian rhythm.
That is correct. That is correct.
You're going to be in a 25-hour day before you know it.
Oh my gosh.
So, this week.
Well, how are you?
Oh, me.
Yeah, you asked me, and I was talking. I could talk about me for a long times.
Well,
How are
so
you?
I'm okay. When this comes out, I will be
Namming it up.
I should be.
Yeah, this will come out on Wednesday.
I'll be on the plane probably,
Yes.
but I'll be going to Anaheim to see who did show up, who didn't show up.
Yeah.
To the
See,
2023
a lot of
NAMM.
sad card tables set up with like
Just
like
business cards on it?
cards and flyers,
Like the PV booth.
The PV booth. That's exactly what it was. I'm just excited. I know all the big hitters aren't going to be there.
No. Well, the only
Taylor.
is Taylor going to be there?
They always have that room upstairs. It's theirs. They got to be there.
Taylor, Martin, Yamaha.
Yeah.
Ugh. Some amp people will be.
Some pedal people will be there.
Some of the Walrus will be there.
Walrus will be there. Yeah.
But the vast majority of like Fender, Gibson, PRS not going.
And you're not showing. You're just going to hang.
I'm not. I think I'm going to. So if you're listening to this.
Oh.
Because technically, if you're listening to this and you're going to the show, this will be out before the show starts.
Everybody in the industry will be listening to this podcast on the plane on the way to NAMM.
Email me, Zach at Mythos Pedal.
This is exactly what's going to happen. I have confidence in this.
But I think I'm going to take a board to the Two Rock booth.
Okay, cool.
And Eli has graciously allowed me to throw a board on the floor in front of
Are they going to have a Joey at the booth?
I think so, and some other stuff.
Are they going to have the other thing that we know about that no one else knows about?
I believe so.
Vague podcasting.
Yeah, but if you want to check out stuff, we'll put at the end what I plan on taking on the big tease.
I have that down as a big tease, and I don't think you would confirm to me that you're going to bring it.
I think I will.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Start getting that buzz.
Yeah. Well, speaking of
getting a buzz, do you drink on the plane?
Do I drink on the plane?
Yeah.
Not really, because I would if it was free. But I do have a layover in Vegas, and I don't know if they treat the Vegas airport like they do a casino, because I plan on finding a slot machine and hoping that someone comes around with like a drink cart.
I had one layover in Vegas where I like the flight got canceled.
Yeah.
So like I was connecting in Vegas and the flight got canceled, so they had to put us up. But it was like, sorry, I don't have a cough button. I feel terrific.
We'll get you a cough button.
Swear to God, I feel terrific. So I had to. It was like 11 o'clock, but we had to be back at the airport at like 7 a.m. for our flight.
Yeah,
I was
fun.
like, there's no way I can pull this off.
No.
Even in my 20s, I was like, I'm not going to try to do this.
No, honestly, to be completely honest with you, the only goals I have for NAMM this year is Dipped and Tone is doing an episode with Josh Scott. We think.
What do you mean you think?
We've asked him, and he kind of said yes.
What does that mean?
It was like a soft yes.
What is a soft yes? Like, what did he send a Marco Polo?
He did, and then he sent Rhett a message. I'd have to find it. It's very like, what does he mean? This sort of thing.
Oh, this is fascinating.
Because Rhett has like tried to ask him multiple times, and he's not got a straight answer. But my hope is...
Josh is an enigma.
He definitely is.
Enigma.
Woohoo.
You might want to bleep that out. That was pretty close.
I'm going to mark that on...
Oh, my God. Enigma.
I can't find it.
It's all right. So you're hoping that you're going to have a video with Josh.
We hope so. If not, Dipped and Tone will be somebody. We're going to walk around on the NAMM floor. I've got some wireless mics, and we're going to get in people's face and say, "Do you believe in tone wood?"
Yes.
Then I plan. The most exciting thing about the whole trip is in the Vegas airport is a Swatch store.
Yeah,
because I want to find one of those Swatch Omega like space watches.
Oh yeah,
because like at the store they're like $200.
Yeah.
On eBay they're like $500.
So you're going to try to go get one?
Yeah, I want to get as many as I can.
Hot. You'd be selling them.
No, because
you can have a trench coat and have them.
Well, that could be for the middle.
We're doing the trench coat and flashing.
Yeah. Rhett wants one. Fred wants one. Like all my friends want one, and so I want to buy one.
Can I get in on that?
Yeah, just let me know what planet you want. Anyway.
Okay.
So that's what. Honestly, I'm.
Yeah.
I'm mostly excited about finding the Swatch store. So.
Well, that'll be fun.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Ooh, I got a text.
Oh, look at you.
Oh, it's my dad.
See? What's
I'm
up
so
with
excited.
that?
My dad's moving here. Have I talked about this on the show?
No, you haven't.
My dad is moving here. He bought a house. We're gonna we might have to have Pop's Corner on the pod.
Yeah.
Because my dad is a veteran of the industry and a sage. And is just the smartest person.
Your dad is an herb?
Isn't sage? Isn't that like a wise man kind of thing?
No, it is.
All right. So he's like, all my bullshit that I spew is usually stuff that Pop's told me.
Sure.
So I think Pop's Corner on the pod.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
At least it deserves a T-shirt.
It does deserve a T-shirt. So he texted me, it's a YouTube video.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it's Oracle action.
Oh, sweet.
Ooh, what's this? My dad also is a good dad, so he always sends me all the YouTube videos that he finds where there's Mythos pedals being used.
Mythos.
It's great.
Thanks.
Ooh.
Well, anyway, so for today's episode of Pedal Pushers and the Big Push, we have a very special message that we normally reserve to the end of the show.
Yeah, we have our voicemail where if you leave a great voicemail, you will be on the show.
Yes.
So we should be flooded with these things because who doesn't want to be on this show?
Exactly.
Yeah. So we got one.
And it does. You can record it with your phone.
Yeah.
No pressure. Just anything. Just pertinent to the guitar.
I mean, if
stuff.
you want to just like riff and then send it to us, you can please do that
if
too.
It's cool.
If it's cool, we might play it on the air as long as it's got Mythos content.
Yeah.
But no, so we got a great question, and it was such a good question, we decided that it would be the topic for this episode of the show. It's from our good buddy Trevor.
Yes.
And we're going to play it for you right now.
Hey guys, Trevor here. I had a question regarding what you do when you find time to play the guitar. And I have a 3-year-old little girl and a 4-month-old little girl. And so as a guitar player, dad, a busy work schedule and home life balance, it's hard to find that time to sit down and play guitar. And when I do, I find myself maybe noodling or trying to learn chord inversions or a scale shape or figuring out various things on the guitar, maybe dialing in tone, maybe playing with a backing track. And sometimes that can get a little bit stagnant or feels like less progress is being made, which the intention is not always to make progress, sometimes just to unwind and have fun, but was just curious to know what you guys do when you find the time to play guitar in your busy schedules with kids and all things considered. Love the show. Thanks, guys.
So a big reason that I like this question is that I think it was last week or the week before.
Yeah.
You basically came in and had an existential crisis about this very topic, which is how do I find time to play guitar at home when I'm a successful, handsome businessman?
Yeah, well.
And I got a kid and I got a family and responsibilities and when do I find time to riff?
Right.
And so you came in and you were ready to sell everything.
Yeah.
Because you don't play enough at home.
No, I did a live stream on my porch about it, and I titled the live stream "I'm going to sell everything," and I had the most watches of any like solo live stream.
People were waiting for the reverb links because you got some good gear, bro.
I do.
Yeah.
And people called it my Zach life crisis, which is I think fitting because I totally understand the this is a first world problem of like I have the nicest stuff that I've ever had that anyone could hope to have, and I can't enjoy it because I don't have any time. When I think about the things I need to do in my spare time, it's usually mowing the yard and like picking up the house, like normal things that a responsible adult should do.
Graham's almost 5. He can mow the lawn.
Well, pretty soon we'll get him a riding lawnmower and we'll just throw him on there.
I mean, that sounds awesome.
That's how old I was.
Yeah.
But
yes. So the problem here, which Trevor laid out, is I want to play. I've got all the gear. Like how do I find the time? How do I focus? Trevor's angle was what do I even do? Like
right.
What's useful for my time? So it sounds like in a good way, Trevor has the time or has it set aside so he can play.
The option
might
exist.
be there a little bit, but it's still hard because of all the other things.
Yeah.
Which I think is that part, that the difficulty is like you don't want to feel like when you do get a chance to play, it's just Noodle City. It's just it's just Panda Express.
Please God, no.
I like Panda Express, and you
hate
don't.
it.
And it really bothers me that you don't.
It's not good.
What do you mean it's not good?
It's
Have
not
you been
good.
to one of the hole-in-the-wall Chinese places in this town?
Yeah, and they are arguably better than any Panda Express I've ever had.
It's all congealed. It's just like one thing of food. It's terrible.
I don't know. There's something the taste of Panda Express just really
I'm a
puts me
huge
off.
Panda E fan. Huge fan.
Huge P&E.
I call it Panda E. That's how much you know I like it.
Man, yeah.
All right. So the point is, I don't know what the point is, but so let's kind of break it down a little bit.
Yeah.
We're trying to find time to play. We're trying to find the motivation to play. So let's start with, what does your home rig look like? Like, how do you have it set up so where you can, if I get a chance to play, I'm going to play?
Right. Okay. Hold on. I got to open my kombucha here.
I opened a water.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I talked over it too.
Oh, there was nothing. There you go.
Well, you got a little bit of the safety seal there. It's alive.
You can smell the burn.
I already opened my can.
That's okay. It's right at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, it's on there for a reason.
That's one of the best recorded can openings.
That was the best one I've ever done.
Well,
yeah.
Take that, Novo Podcast.
Damn, jeez.
Anyway, so my guitar rig at home it usually lives in the garage. I have my Line 6 Catalyst that Line 6 very graciously sent me to check out, and I love it. It's awesome. It's basically the Helix or the HX Stomp amps with a cabinet that actually sounds like a guitar cab in a room.
I remember when you brought it to work.
Yeah.
And I heard it and I was like, holy shnikes.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how good it sounded.
It's awesome. And it has a 1/4 watt thing. So if I have the time when people are home, that's the amp.
Yeah.
If people aren't home, I have a Pro Junior that I usually just goose. And I don't have a pedal board at home. They're all here. I have pedals at home, but I think I only have one cable at home.
Just one cable.
Yeah, because if I had more than one, I would lose both of them. But if I have one, I can put it in the back of the amp and I won't lose it. So, but that's it. And like the Pro Junior is decoration in the bedroom. We have it underneath my acoustic guitar, and like there's a plan on it.
It looks nice.
It looks great.
Yeah.
And then the Catalyst is got the amp cover and it's in the garage because despite how good it sounds, it's not the most handsome looking thing.
How dare you?
Well, so I keep it out there when I want to get, and it doesn't weigh anything, so I just bring it inside and set it up.
Sure.
But what about you?
So my home setup is I have a HX Stomp, and I have that set up in the den. I actually have it on my TV console,
Right.
like underneath, like where my video games are. So I can slide it out, and then there it is. So it's kind of put away, and then I just pull a cord out, plug the guitar into it, and then I pull out the USB, plug it into my MacBook Air or Thunder, whatever the fuck it is. I don't know. I don't know computer stuff. Whatever plugging it into, and then that way I can jam out and do that with headphones, exclusively using your ZZ Top preset, which is the only thing I use. I think I've talked about that before, but it sounds so good.
I've had so many people ask, can I buy it? I'm like, I'll give it to you. I just have to figure out how to share it.
It has a wonderful chorus on there.
It does.
You know, chorus. It's got that on there, so I get a little bit of that because I love me some late 70s chorused Billy Gibbons tone.
Yeah, the DeGuayo album.
Absolutely fantastic. So I do that, and I also have a Benson Nathan Jr., which is also a kind of a furniture piece for us because it looks beautiful.
They are handsome.
They're handsome. We have that in the living room, and I got that set up with a small pedal board, and then I have my guitars on my wall. So I've got my Novos and my Taylor acoustic, and then I'll also break out my PRS Special semi-hollow, which is in the case in my bedroom.
Yeah, you can't leave that thing just hanging about.
I don't want to.
No.
So that's my setup at home.
Yeah, and I think what you have figured out is the immediacy. The access is more immediate.
Yes.
Which is the most important thing.
Absolutely.
Everything.
It has to be frictionless.
Yeah.
Is the second that I get, like if I get home at 5 o'clock and the whole family's getting home at 5:15, I can say 15 minutes I can go.
Right, yeah.
Like you have to have that set up that way. At least in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I agree. And like usually for me, I put the catalyst in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's where, oddly enough, that's where the most plugs are in our house.
There you go.
And I just sit at the kitchen table and I'll just sit there and play. But even like, so despite if I had that, and I don't know if we've ever talked about this, even when I have stuff set up and I start playing, my son goes, "It's too loud," and it could be not loud. It could be like barely audible. He's like the NAMM sound police.
You gotta give him those little tickets to hand
give him
out.
a decibel meter and just walk by, like go, and like puts his thumb down.
That's
turn
a
it
really
down.
great Halloween costume for him. We'll give him the decibel meter and the little tickets that they hand out.
The badge, like a white shirt,
like a white shirt, and give him like headphones to wear.
I mean, that would be funny. He would be like, "I want to be Spider-Man." Like, no, you're gonna be this. The sound police. Doesn't that sound cool?
This is gonna play on Instagram, kid. That's what's important.
This is for the clicks.
No, but I think it's an interesting thing. It's like I don't even really try to play that much, when the family's around for that reason. I think a lot of it is that if they're around, like, because I've got, my kids are a little younger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a little less independent play. So I'm kind of, if we're around, I'm involved. But I will slip like if Allison and June are going to watch like Little Mermaid, I'll be like, I'm gonna go play for a while.
Yeah.
I'll play out loud.
Yeah.
But I'll do, clean Oracle stuff.
Right.
So that way it's not, because I just can't turn the Chupacabra down that much.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I got that thing on, I gotta jam it.
Yeah.
So one of the things I do find really interesting, and it is something that you and I have talked about a lot, is the fact that you don't have a dedicated like room.
No.
For play. And I used to. Pre-baby, where I had all my stuff, and it's like everything could be set up perfectly,
right?
And so I'm hoping that there are a lot of dads and a lot of moms out there that are playing that have that access, because that's like it's even more of a double whammy when you don't have that. Then you have to set up kind of in a janky way like we do. Yeah, well, and that's something. Did you have that before, right? Like, I did. Like when you and Morgan were were living together, did you have a room? Yeah. So anytime I had like I had a Mythos room, and so I had all my stuff in there. Mm-hmm. And before I moved out of the house for doing work, I still live at home, but he sleeps in his office. Yeah, it's not pretty. We had a spare room, and like that's where I started doing the podcast. Yeah, and that was like my office, and I mean we had to turn it into a guest room because. My in-laws are coming more and more because the kid's getting older. And yeah. Makes sense. It doesn't make sense for me to have like a guitar, like a couple guitar amps in there, and then a big empty space when we should have a bed for someone to sleep on. I totally get it. But yeah, I don't have like. And here's the thing, and this is something that we talked about a lot, and I think everybody that has this sort of crisis goes through this where. Yeah. You explain your situation and everyone offers up solutions. Yes. And it never makes sense because usually people that offer up solutions that aren't you, they can't see the forest for the trees sometimes. And that's okay because it's not their responsibility. Like we have a spare room in the house in our bedroom because for some stupid reason, the people that designed our house made this huge like extra space in our bedroom. So it's only accessible through your bedroom? Yeah. Okay. And it could work. I could have an amp in there. But here's what's going to happen. Okay. The moment that a pedal board is there and a cable is like strewn about and a child runs over it and trips and pulls something, or Morgan needs to like work out or do something in that space, it's going to be, it's gone. It's done. Yeah. Because if something's going to get broken or it's in someone else's way who needs it more than I do, so far as like the things that are important. Like I'm very much a sacrificial person. I will give up all the things I need, all the things I like, and all the things I love to make someone else have a better like situation. Yeah. So it's like you're going to set up the entire household and then whatever meager crumbs are left for your stuff, that's where it's going to go. And so that's like when you're having that crisis, and Trevor's crisis is trying to figure out like what to do when he gets the chance to play.
Right.
So like you're just even in a further crisis mode, which is that I'm not even doing that.
No.
Right. Because I'm with Trevor.
Yeah.
Like I play probably once a week.
Yeah.
And I find myself, you know, a lot of times I'll come home early on a Friday and the gals are over at grandma's house, and I'm like, I got like 3 or 4 hours so I can play Destiny and play the Nathan Jr. Dimed.
Yeah. Just do both at the same time.
I mean, that's crazy. I remember when I first started playing with McKinley, he would do that.
Yeah.
You know, McKinley, who works here, shout out to Big Mac.
Yep.
Like we would be playing Destiny, and I would hear just
blink, blink, blink.
and I'd be like, he's just riffing in between massacring people in PvP.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So I'm with him where it's like I struggle with that all the time, which is that am I just wasting my time? What am I even doing this for? Because you'll always play more when you have a goal and a purpose.
Right.
You know, and like I think that's true for you as well. Because if you had a goal and a purpose, you would find a way to make the setup at home work for you.
Right.
So how often do you want to play and you're just kind of like, meh?
Oh, I would,
because it's just not set up the way you would like it to be set up.
Oh, I used to play 1 to 2 hours every day.
Yes.
And I would love to be able to play 1 hour alone a week.
Yeah.
But
isn't that the goalpost has shifted? Because my dad, you know, Pop's Corner, which we will get to at some point, is like you got to play every day no matter what.
Yeah.
Even if it's 15 minutes, you got to play every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I that burns into my brain. And then, you know, like last night I grabbed the one of my Novos, and the baby was in the swing, and she was not sleeping, but she was not screaming at me.
Yeah.
And so I played guitar, you know, just on the couch, you know, and that's kind of like that's a win.
Yeah.
To find time to even do that.
Yeah, totally.
You know?
To have just a few moments to plink out something.
Plink out something. So my big advice for Trevor also would be you got to have, you know, your goals so you can try to like, but I think it's like, and maybe we sometimes don't let ourselves do this. It's okay to be all over the place.
Oh yeah.
It's okay to like be like, one day I'm learning chord inversions and one day I'm like learning, you know, I'm just jamming along. One day I've decided to learn
natural minor scale.
Or I've decided I'm just going to go ahead and learn all of, the Black Album by Metallica. Whatever it is.
The debut Linkin Park album.
That's a good record.
No, it is good.
It is a good record. The idea is that, like, I think we beat ourselves up so much.
Oh, yeah.
We beat ourselves up because we want to. And the reason why we do it is because the gear fucking rules.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's you kind of feel bad when you're staring at, like, let's be honest, thousands upon thousands of dollars of gear and you're not playing.
I know. And
it makes you feel like a goddamn fucking idiot.
Yeah. Oh, it sucks. And that's exactly why I was having my crisis.
Yeah.
And we can get to that in a second. But like to what you're saying, I think we all have to remember that it's called playing guitar.
Yeah.
If you're not earning a living off of it, then you should be enjoying it just like a child enjoys play. Whatever that means to you, you have to figure out what that is. And for me, it was learning songs and riffs and solos. And like I listen back to things that I used to play. Well, like even on Instagram, like if you scroll back far enough, I'm like, damn, I was pretty good. Like, and it's funny, like people, you know, mention that I'm a good player and all this stuff, and I appreciate that, and I am so grateful that people admire anything that I do on the instrument. But in my own mind, I have fallen way off the wagon with my skill set just because, like your pop says, you have to work that muscle.
I mean, I think it was that sometimes the Instagram will pop up and have like a, you know, look at an old post or something. Mm-hmm. And I remember watching one from, I don't know, it was like 2018 or 19. And that would have been like pre-kid, me at Novo every day. Yeah. And I was like, I was pretty good.
Right. Yeah.
Because I was like, I was, you know, in the pocket and playing something that sounded pretty cool. And I was like, because I had that repetition, I was playing all the time.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, you know, it's trying to find that time. So it's like, and when I dedicate myself to playing as much as possible and I start having a couple weeks in a row where I play, 2, 3, 4 times, I mean, it's immediate. I can tell that I sound so much better.
And I think one of the things for me is that I used to watch a lot and pay more attention to like lesson-y things. And when I was really practicing guitar, I would watch YouTube videos at work of lessons, and I was so plugged in that I could remember what someone was doing with their hands, and when I got home,
you were ready to try it out.
I tried it out without having to play it again or write it down or like have a tab. And
did you what was your ultimate goal at that time though? Was it just to play as much as possible?
Yeah, it was and it was because I was single. I had a band, a cover band with my childhood best friends, and I just wanted to get better. And not in a there's a video of John Mayer at Belmont doing a talk, and he says there's no prize for being the best guitar player. And I remember,
isn't?
No.
Man.
You could get in the Guinness Book of World Records for the fastest or whatever, but who gives a shit? And like what he means is like you only have to do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
And when I was playing, that was just my goal, was to enjoy it. And I wanted to experiment, and I did a lot because I was in a cover band.
Yes.
I would take songs and rework them.
Yeah.
To be totally different and stuff that would fit in the groove of our band, which was like a funky blues rock band.
Sure.
And I would like say we did Amy Winehouse Rehab.
Yeah.
And that song has a lot of chords, and it's pretty complicated. And this is just when I was, practicing all the time. I said, well, what if I was just sitting alone and I had my phone? I always would record voice memos of everything I did.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if I just vamped this like C7 chord just like for the entire verse and not change chords at all?
Yeah.
And I recorded it and sent it to my bandmates, and they were like, that's it. Like, that's what we're going to do. And we would play it live, and it would kill.
Yeah.
And it was so easy.
Yeah.
Because it, like, when you took out all the chords, it just worked, and you could solo over it.
Yeah.
And everyone liked it.
Yeah.
And I would have never done that if I'd never just sat around and gone, I wonder what happens if I just go.
Well, you're playing enough, and you had time, and then also you did have, but you had an outlet.
Yeah.
You had an easy goal, and that's Trevor's question, and that's I think what we're going to try to sort of get at here is that it's we can tell people, like you said, or you can give everybody advice on how to do that, but until you find what that is for you, and I think that I think it's okay, and that's what I was trying to get at earlier. It's okay if that whatever you find is very short term.
Yeah.
Just to keep you rolling, right?
Yeah,
and I think that's kind of the way it has to work, is because we'd all love to be in bands that needed to practice once a week because we have gigs. Who doesn't, right? Yeah. Every guitar player alive, that's what they want, right? I mean, I'm assuming so, right? Some people want to play at home, but
right, yeah.
But I mean, obviously, that's the dream, is to be able to do that. I mean, even if we reduce that, it's like the dream is that we practice once a month, and I have to learn some songs to play with the guys. Yeah. Now, I want to get good enough to where I actually want to do stuff for Instagram and YouTube. Yeah. Because I'm very shy about it, because I feel like I've ham hands. I'm like bricks for hands while I play. And I'm surrounded by 3 really good guitar players. Wow. And I've always sort of felt like, like I would really like to do that. But again, it's just, you're trying to be realistic about it. I just, the sort of goal, again, this is the Pop's Corner. He's going to love this, because, he always gets excited when I talk about him on the show, is that, I remember the last time we jammed together when he was here and I was playing, and I asked him, like, well, what did you think of my playing? He's like, you sounded like you meant to do everything you did. And I was like, wow, that's really great. Like that's a compliment, right? Is it like, you can tell when people are hesitant, you can tell when they're kind of flailing around and not really knowing, but he was like, you were playing like you knew exactly what you wanted to play. Yeah. And I was like, and that's when I feel good. It's not that it's like what John Mayer said, right? Yeah. Not when I'm playing super fast, not when I know every song. It's just when I'm playing and I feel like I know what I'm trying to do. Well, it's like that's when I get locked in.
Having confidence in what you do is the most affirming thing, no matter if you're playing in front of a mirror or hundreds of people, there's nothing more enjoyable, I think, than playing and never feeling lost.
Yeah.
And feeling like you have like an open road in front of you.
Yeah.
And even if it's something as simple as playing a power chord, because I'm not talking about like, you have to be confident to like take a solo at any given moment, because who cares? No one's going to get excited. Not everyone's going to get excited. Only guitar players get excited when there's a great solo happening all the time.
Yeah.
Everyone else, they just want to hear a good song. And if you suck at playing songs well, then like, that's the thing you have to work on. And everything else is a cherry on top.
Yep.
But yeah, I think for Trevor and for everybody listening, you just need to set these markers and these goalposts for yourself that you can aim and work towards, even if it, like you said, if it's short term or just for the here and now. But also to that end, you just have to be open with your family or your significant other or whoever, your neighbors, to where you can say, hey, this is when I'm going to do this. And you have to force yourself to do it regardless. And that's something that is very hard.
And that's what I do a lot of times, and I always let Allison know. I say, if there's a situation to where I'm like, she's talking about plans and my ears are perking up because I might get a chance to have a little bit of time at home by myself. And I always say, like, I'm very deliberate with it. I'm saying I would like to do that because I would like to play guitar loudly. Right. And she's always like, awesome, great. Because she's very supportive of that because she wants me to be happy, which is, it's a nice thing in a marriage when we want each other to be happy.
Isn't it weird, like, having a completely comfortable and, like, stable relationship?
I don't know. I tell Allison that all the time. I'm like, this is weird sometimes.
Yeah. Just, wait, we don't fight about anything but like stupid stuff.
Just real dumb shit. Yeah.
Where are the garbage bags?
Pretty much. Pretty much. But yeah, so it's like, I think you're right. I think if you want to take a little bit of a bird's eye view here, 3 kind of main points is that, number 1, don't beat yourself up over thinking that there are these like goals that you should be hitting. Like as far as like, like competency goals. It's just that you feel like that everything that you're playing is what you're trying to do. Yeah. That's number 1. Number 2 is being honest with everybody in your life about needing the time and then finding the time to do it. And number 3, the last thing I'll say is that time marches on.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I think sometimes when you're in the middle of it, it feels like, well, this is it. This is how my life's going to be.
Right, yeah.
And then your kid's going to be 15 and hate you, and you're going to have plenty of time to play guitar.
Right.
And like that's sort of like I always think about that as I have to think about it now because I'm up at 4 a.m. with Alex spitting up all over me while I'm trying to watch SportsCenter. That I know that eventually things will settle down and I'll have more time to do those things, and like trying to remember that part. Yeah. And then having all the hot riffs ready so then we can play in a band when we actually have time to do it.
Yeah. And that's something I really want to find that time to play in front of people again. But to that end, fortunate and unfortunate for me, so does Morgan, because she misses playing music so desperately, because that's why she moved to Nashville. And like as far as singers go, she's better than the majority of people I know. Yeah. And it just kind of sucks, because then it's like, oh, there's another thing that I'm gonna do that you're not doing. And it's like, and because like again, I just want everyone else to be happy. Yes. And so it's like, but all that to say, Trevor, just
or everybody listening, obviously.
Well, yeah. Just don't sweat it. Just you'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. The best advice I could give you is like get on the HX Stomp, download the Iron Maiden Power Slave like preset, and just fucking riff. Yeah, you will have a blast. Man, and just do that. Doesn't that sound like a really good time?
If I knew how that album sounded,
it's like very early 80s chorusy heavy metal, which I love.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which I absolutely love.
Not my favorite.
I love it.
Well, I guess this segues perfectly based off what we were talking about before into the next segment of the show, which is what are you buying? What are you selling?
All right. Well, I got my eyeballs on something a little bit different this week.
You perked up. For some gear now.
I did. Sometimes things hit you. So I've been trying to figure out. I want some P90s in my life.
You need some P in your life.
I need some P and some 90 in my life, and I'm trying to figure out what to get. Right. I've got a bunch of really great guitars, and I'm trying to figure out what's next. I saw a Les Paul, standard 50s.
Yeah.
P90s, in Tobacco Burst,
and
I think it's new. Is it new? It's it popped up a bunch of places this week, so I didn't know if it was brand new.
I think it probably was because I feel like it was just gold.
Yes, for a long time.
50th Les Pauls were only gold. So.
Yeah, and so but I saw them everywhere, and I think it was Russo. Shout out to Russo, one of our favorite dealers.
Yes.
They posted the first photo or like an unboxing of one. I was like, that looks cool. And then they have one on their website that I really like. That could be it. They're $27.99. I know that Gibson line is a little hit or miss on some stuff, but I think I could probably find the right one. And
there's going to be enough of them out there that you could seemingly go to any number of guitar stores and be like, do you have one? They say yes, and then you decide whether or not it's
right
good.
Now, the majority of the time I play my F1, which is, obviously a tempered pine body,
right?
Telecaster bridge, and then I play my special semi-hollow PRS, which is humbuckers with
its own animal,
all its own thing. And I'm looking for the next thing to complement that really well. I think P90s. 330 is probably really high up there, I know, but I kind of want to wait and get like a real one, a vintage one day. But I saw those. They're
real if you can touch them, Matthew.
Yeah. So I was looking at those. I said, but you knew I was serious because I showed you guys.
Yeah.
I sent it to Devin. I sent it to Fred. I sent it to everybody except Pops because
he's an enabler.
Oh God, he's the worst.
No.
He really is though. So. But the key is that, and we talk about this every week, I'm the laziest person in the whole world on selling stuff. So I in my head, it's just so much work.
Yeah,
I've got to take photos and I got to do all this stuff. So I was joking around and saying, should I just sell it on IG? Should I just post pictures and tell people to message me if they want to buy some shit?
Why not? The only thing that you run in with that is shipping it. Which sucks.
Yeah, I could just take everything to East Side and Carter's and just be done with it.
I mean, I like doing that.
I know you do. I know. We'll get to you, buddy.
So,
and I got it's still foreign to me to do this because I've just never done it. I never sell anything.
Yeah,
and so it's just I got to work myself up to this because I would much rather, as I've said before, just. But it's starting to be too much gear.
Yeah.
And it's not only starting to get too much gear, but it's I got a family.
Right.
I got 2 kids. I need to tone it down a little bit.
Sure, yeah.
As far as I was buying stuff, it's just I have a bunch of wonderful guitars and 2 wonderful amps. It's I don't need anything. But if you sell stuff, then it doesn't matter. You just buy stuff.
Yeah, then you can consolidate.
Yes.
Which is what I had.
Yes, this is a weekly therapy session for me on getting over my fear of selling gear. That's what this is.
Yeah. So
what are you looking at?
Well, so there was no official announcement.
None.
But recently, no, they did. People posted this. Billy Gibbons was at Gibson.
Yep.
And he had pearly gates. And
oh my God.
So. I don't know if you missed it, but they made a run of Greenie, Kirk Hammett, Gary Moore, Peter Green guitars. And they were, I think obscenely expensive is the right word.
It was, I
think obscene is.
It was obscene.
For the first ones. So now
it's 20 grand for
the new one with Indian Rosewood is 20 grand. And granted, the first one you got to meet Kirk and it was like a dinner, it was a whole thing.
It looked like an amazing experience.
Yeah, something you'd never forget until you sold the guitar and be like, oh shit, do you remember that? But all that to say, I have to assume
it's coming.
That they were going to make a pearly.
Well, my phone lit up.
Yeah.
And your phone lit up.
Yeah.
because people know.
Because we like the best thing and probably the worst thing about being in this world is that we have little birdies everywhere. So we have spies everywhere, and so when things happen, you get sent like cell phone pictures that probably shouldn't have been taken. And it just makes you go, what? There's no way. Oh man, really? And that's what happened. So I saw the photo that was like great, like had permission was Billy with Pearly and the Blessing Burst together, because they both got the guitars like a similar time and they'd had it for the same amount of time. It's like a cool thing.
Yeah.
But I started asking around, and like I have to assume that Pearly's coming.
Yeah. Well, even like a couple days before, Cesar posted a photo of Billy
with
and mentioned Pearly Gates, and I sent you and I said, like, because we're not dummies.
No,
and I was like, he's
not either.
Cesar rules. He knows exactly what he's doing right now.
Yeah,
he's just slanging it.
So
for all us guys who want to spend that much money on a guitar, so we did talk a lot about whether or not you should buy one.
Right, but all that to say, buying one of those, because I would twist every arm and go through every back door I could to get the best deal.
You're a backdoor man.
I am.
And you move some good. You might
knocking on the back door.
Gee. Okay. I like it. We're getting a little punchy. I gotta leave in 10 minutes to pick up June.
It's fine.
June. No, but you've got gear to move if you need to sell a bunch of stuff in order to get this.
Yeah.
Because you'd have to, I think, to justify it.
Right? I can't. There's no way in good conscience could I buy a guitar that costs that much, even if I got it for the deal of a lifetime.
Yeah.
And still have all the things I have.
Yeah.
So, but the next day, like after the dust had settled,
the fervor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I doing? Because my R9 rules, and like no matter how good a copy of this guitar will ever be.
Yeah.
It will never be that guitar.
It'll never be Pearly.
And I can't imagine it would be any better than the Les Paul I have, because in my opinion, my R9 is one of the best Les Pauls I've ever played.
Yeah.
Save for a few that were $100,000+.
Yep.
So, but
I mean,
that's what I want, but I can't get it.
I mean, that's like it's like we talked a little bit about this, in the Bad Monkey episode, which is it's about value. Yeah. And that's the hard part. Is it's like it's a lot of it is scarcity, right? Because Gibson's only going to make X number.
Sure.
And it's going to be signed and it's going to be numbered, and it's an experience. It's going to be like, oh, you have one of those, and you're like, yeah, I've got one of those, And we talked to our good buddy John over at Peach, and there's a lot of times where he's buying this stuff for the store and kind of for himself, right? And he's like, well, I got them and I'm not going to sell. Yeah, because it'll be be worth because it could be and then Gibson just did the Hammett Flying V this week.
Yep.
And so a lot of it is it's a fun exercise though to talk about it in a way of like, well, what guitar would they have to do for you? You know what I mean? To be excited about it. And for me, obviously, it'd have to be something with James.
Yeah.
And the funny part about it is that like with him, he's played a lot of different stuff and a lot of custom stuff. Everybody go like 84 Explorer,
right?
Would be, but the most famous one that he played, the Eat Fuck guitar, is actually an ESP,
right?
And so, and then the ESP stuff, like it's like $7,000.
Yeah, but that would be probably cheaper than a copy. Well, they wouldn't make that guitar. They can't.
Yeah.
I mean, they could, but it wouldn't.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I mean, the 84 Explorers he did play. I mean, and then the Flying V that he has is the Japanese copy.
Yeah.
Bolt-on. It's like Electra, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's an interesting thing, and I know that Gibson would love to do something with James. I would probably say, like, out of all that stuff, it's the 73 Les Paul Custom.
Right.
Burley with the Iron Cross on it. Like, they've done the Eclipse version with ESP, but like that Cesar's gotta want to do that guitar with him.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it'd be unbelievable, and I'd be dying.
But I think
get a hold of something, because I remember when those came out, I was like, oh man, I should try.
Yeah.
And that was like 2003, I think. It was like Saint Anger era when he started playing that thing.
Yeah,
man, that'd be great.
I think Gibson. I think they need to pivot a little bit and go back to some of the earlier Guitar Heroes and do some of these. I mean, like Pearly, Greenie.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a lot of covers a lot of ground.
It does, but I feel like in how they're billing it,
It's Hammond.
it's only Hammond. And he owns the guitar, so rightfully so.
Yeah.
But I feel like Pearly's probably going to come in the next 6 months or so.
Yeah.
And I don't know. But
Do you think they're hitting a little too hard with the metal guys or the?
I do. But
Yeah.
maybe this is for a whole nother episode.
Oh,
Yeah, we can talk about
what
Gibson's
Fender and
focus.
Gibson should be doing?
or
Because we know everything about everything.
Well, no,
The
but like
smartest men in the industry, right? That's it.
just their focus,
Yeah.
I think. But that's
That's
what
a
I
whole-
want.
that's a
what
whole
I,
episode,
That's
yeah.
what I want to buy, but I'm not buying it. I'm not.
yeah.
But
Like-
what I am selling, we can talk about. So I want to sell my 73. I want to sell both the
You had
guitars.
the 73 here this week, and it was kicking.
It's a great guitar. So
That
I
was
have
really
a
cool.
modded 73 Les Paul that's like Tom Schultz, Boston ready, ripper of a guitar, rock and roll guitar, and then my 65 non-reverse Firebird 5,
Thing's sick too, man.
which is incredible. It really is. But I think about it and all the money that's in. Like I spent a lot of money on them, but they're worth more than what I paid.
Yep.
I got really lucky, especially with the Firebird. It was mislabeled. They had it as a Firebird 1, which is, I bought it for what that would have been worth, but it's a 5. So it's a
Wow.
better guitar, a more desirable guitar, maybe. But yeah, I kind of want to sell those, and I think I'm going to sell the Soldano
I don't know why.
because it's too much.
It's kicking though.
It is,
It
but
sounds terrific.
It does,
But you've got 4 other amps in there that you go to before the Soldano.
and there's something coming.
Oh my god!
So,
I do know what's coming.
yeah.
Yeah, 130 pounds.
121.
Oh, that's 150 pounds.
It's just 175 pounds.
It's terrific. Yeah, when's that coming?
Monday.
And we're gonna do a video, right?
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, so I'm thinking about selling those.
Yeah, the Soldano was fun.
Super fun.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Super fun.
Super fun.
Yeah. But I get it. You got a lot of heat in that room.
Yeah.
As I like to say.
And I think that I just want to dial it back and consolidate.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing I want to do with all my stuff is just like kind of rein it in.
Yeah.
To where all the guitars here are the shop guitars.
Yep.
And then all the guitars at home are my play, like the guitars I'm passionate about.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
Yeah.
but we can end on the big T's and then
The big T's, and then we got to get out of here.
we got to go. So,
All right, so you teased it earlier.
kind of,
You're gonna bring the prototype on the board.
I think,
You're gonna have it at NAMM.
unless it is noisy or something's not working. I'm going to take the chorus to NAMM.
Oh my god.
And
I'm getting a little sweaty, buddy.
I know.
A lot of choruses coming out right now.
Yeah, I know. But this one is going to be,
It's gonna be badass.
it's going to be really good. It's going to
Yeah.
be super competitively priced for what you're getting.
Uh-huh.
And I think, for the NAMM show, for the Two Rock booth, I think I'm going to take a Mjolnir, the chorus, and the Oracle, and like think that's maybe an Argo. I don't know. Maybe that's it. The small board. It's got to fit in my
Pants.
in my suitcase.
Feel like ain't nothing fitting in there, bro.
They're so tight. Yeah. But yeah, the chorus, we're getting close. The finish line is in the distance, but we can kind of see it.
We can see it. I've been hitting up the dealers, seeing what kind of interest is out there. Everybody's getting real excited.
Yeah.
You know, I'm excited, obviously, because, you know, I love late 70s, early 80s stuff with chorus, but like not, you know, like 80s, you know, like kind of like what John Mayer did on Sob Rock, like that.
Yeah.
That like classic new wave, like kind of 80s stuff. I do love it on like Judas Priest and Iron Maiden and then the Billy stuff. Like that's what I like. And I like it for that. And so I'm excited about what we're doing with it because I think it works really well for that.
Yeah, I think it does everything.
Yeah.
For-
Well,
so far as
particularly because
normal.
I find myself running into it a little bit with a lot of the modern choruses. There's just a lot going on.
Yeah. Well, I think that is what's in vogue right now is the very clear and dimension, like the Boss Dimension style thing, like a rack mount studio chorus.
Yeah.
And that's probably what all these people used, but when you set it in a certain way, it can definitely just be something that undulates the signal and just adds a little movement.
Yeah.
And makes it feel like it's kind of like moving through water and not just completely cheesed out.
Yeah, as we've said before, and we probably said this about the chorus, like we want it to be like we talked about the Oracle.
Yeah.
Like what that can do for players that want something like that but don't want it to dominate their guitar playing.
Yeah. And we're what we're aiming
That's
to
what
do,
we do, baby.
Is hopefully add a little more flexibility than things that exist in this camp.
Yeah.
We've got a few more modifications and circuit tweaks that we're trying to accomplish. But yeah, we'll see it. And if you're at the NAMM show and all things go according to plan, go by the Two Rock booth, say, I want to play this, and then I'm going to buy an amp, and they'll be happy.
There you go.
Because you know what? They deserve it. They're the nicest people. And I'm not just saying that. They really are the most kind.
Eli rules, man.
And everyone that I've ever dealt with has been so fantastic. And you can't always say that about every gear company. But those guys are really, they're legit. They're legit.
Yeah, I think so. There you go. You got anything else for us, Zachy?
I don't guess so. Be sure to send in your voice message and leave us a question for, it's typically like the Tone Help.
The Tone Help hotline.
Tone Help hotline. And then be sure to like, rate us, follow us, subscribe, do all the things.
Yeah.
We're going to try to start posting all these in audio format on YouTube.
Yeah,
and eventually we'll do video.
We're going to do video. We
right now,
gonna do video.
If we filmed it the way we film it now, it would be, no one would watch it.
Why not?
It's just dumb looking in here.
What do you mean it's dumb looking?
It would just be weird.
Dumb looking. Oh, it's crap. I got to get out of here.
All right.
They're going to leave my daughter on the curb.
No, they
won't.
Right
out front.
All right, bye, everybody.
We got to go. Bye.